Alrighty, good afternoon, YouTube. Hajim Zero here, back with another quick movie review. Um, this one is one of my favorite movies with Keanu Reeves in it. Next to the other ones I've stated, with the past two movies I did with Keanu in it. But this one has an ensemble like cast. Like that was one of the reasons why I had bought the movie in the first place. And then, of course, it was a pretty much who did it kind of scenario, and kind of reminded me of Righteous Kill a little bit. But this is Street Kings, of course, starring Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, Terry Crews, Chris Evans, The Game, Common, Cedric the Entertainer, Naomie Harris, and there are also like a few more stars in this. But this is pretty much about I don't know how to put this. He's labeled as a racist, dirty cop in this movie, but it's really a facade, that he puts on. And of course, it's the LAPD, so you can have your opinions about that. But the funny thing, I remember when this movie came out, one of my homeboys, he said it was a good movie, but right after this, it made him really not trust the police department because, you know, um, it was really definitely saying just like a little bit with Righteous Kill, everybody who was behind something was a cop in this movie. So, the whole narrative of the story is that the alleged racist cop, played by Keanu Reeves, Thomas Ludlow, he goes into this investigation right after his former partner, is killed um, in a robbery gone wrong, which is then the cop is played by Terry Crews. So it's constantly playing this whole back and forth, and at the same time, Eternal Affairs is up his ass, which is also played by Hugh Laurie, which who does another good job in this movie. Like, if you've seen him on House with his American accent, he does a very good job at doing the same thing here. And also Clifton Powell, I think, is his partner in this. But as a spoiler alert, I think that the Eternal Affairs kind of knew that their captain, played by Forrest Whitaker, was actually dirty the entire time. He confessed that he had dirt on everybody and blackmail. That's pretty much why their department was never shut down. Or if they did something without a warrant, they can get away with it. As you can see in the beginning of the movie, where Keanu is his character goes after these alleged pedophiles, without a warrant in their house. He sets up this whole deal with the illegal machine gun sale. They end up jacking him and beating them up, and he has a tracker on the car, and then he finds them. You know, you that's probably like the only real dirty thing that he does in this movie. Just run up in someone's stuff with no warrant and just start shooting. And they find those kids in there, and it's funny. A lot of people would say that that's what some police need to be doing. But that's why we have laws and jurisdiction, and that's why to be honest, it really does suck. It kind of reminded me of the line from the fourth Fast and the Furious movie when Brian said, "I thought he's a federal agent," when he says, "I thought we signed on to do the right thing." And it was funny every time he says that. I was like, well, doing the right thing, it only stretches so far, to legal jurisdiction. And they now have certain programs, like the DSS that The Rock had portrayed later in the movie. That's actually a real thing where they can go to another country to bring somebody back, or if they cross a certain line, X, Y, and Z. The law here in America, as well as in other places, is very, very funny. You would think certain common sense things would work, but they kind of don't. And depending on what it was, it's sometimes justified. So, I really believe that in time and places as well. Certain crimes that I hear where it is justified, especially when someone indirectly takes it into their own hand. Personally, what I believe is that if there's a curve in the law that allows rapists and murderers to go back on the street, yeah, at that point, yeah, if they do it again, you could definitely tell that crime, just like with politics, it goes hand in hand with business. And that's the shitty part about it. Innocent people, yeah, get killed, yeah, or they get violated and there is no justice. So, when I hear a story about, if it was a second or third chance and then someone had slipped up again, and they did the same crime, if someone has split their wig, I don't feel bad. But that's my little rambling going back on to the movie. So um the whole movie they're really trying to find the guys that had ended up killing dude's partner, and they find out first. Chris Evans' character tells Keanu's character that he was actually dirty, but Eternal Affairs then later said, what if he was dirty trying to come clean, and that's why he ended up getting killed. So it's a constant jumping back and forth, a real good cat and mouse tale that's being played here. And it's very funny. One of my teachers in high school said that the funny thing in reality, Keanu would have died a long time ago. He is one of those movies where it's kind of like not really like Die Hard, but being thrown in a dangerous situation, and then they get out of it. Another good movie like that, of course, was Running Scared. Paul Walker's character, he had endured the same thing. Like he tiptoed around death like so many times, and he just never got killed. And I like how it was well written too. With both movies, but all the actors and actresses, they did a very good job. It was a nice little ensemble, collaboration between, from veteran actors to new actors to, people, rappers like Common being in there. And you just seeing, the whole cycle of what's going on. I believe the guy that wrote Training Day had did this movie, David S. Goyer. No. David Ayer, my bad. Get those two confused because they kind of written and done the same similar movies with comic books. But David S. Of course, I'm about to say it again. David Ayer was the one who did Suicide Squad, Harsh Times, Training Day. He did the first Fast and Furious. I think he came up with the story. I think someone else was credited with the characters. But he dedicates his time with that whole L.A., Los Angeles scene. Of course, if you see his movie End of Watch, you really see both sides of the perspective of some of the films that he's done dealing with that. But besides all that, that's all I pretty much have to say. This is a really good movie. Check it out. I'm really not too sure what the second movie is called. I think it's Street Kings 2, Motor City with Ray Liotta. What turned me off on it was that, like I said, with American Psycho, they were just trying to do a cash grab with the name because it has nothing to do with the sequel. Even one of the actors, Clifton Powell, who was in this one, who appears in the second one, he plays a completely different character. So I was like, that doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. I'll probably watch it eventually, but I wasn't going to invest my time in it if it's a completely new story, but you slapped on the name just to make a sale, which to me, like I said, is very, very, distasteful, if you ask me. But that's pretty much all I have to say. I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.